Hello, Galaxy. Chris Pirillo here. It is Friday. Welcome to live.pirillo.com. A packed experience tonight, which is a polar opposite of what it was like earlier today. There weren't a lot of people around early in the morning. I don't know. We got to find I guess more international audience to help balance that out because it seems like the rest of us might be domestic and we get active this time of the evening after work, certainly leading into the weekend when there is bandwidth. Welcome back. Welcome in during the beginning of the Locker Gnome Daily Report. Glad you could be here. I had to call up Glendon because we're so jam packed. We only had one more. We had just one slot for me. In fact, I can remove myself and add someone who's currently doing something else, and we're good. We're at the point where we have to rotate. Watch, I'll show you. We top out StreamYard being our sponsor at 10 participants at a time. So that's why you see this. I was lamenting the fact that I couldn't get OBS to work because normally I pull it in and share it as a window option. I could use, and I'm now going to use, the native screen share feature within StreamYard, if only because it allows us to continue to have the people here playing their video games, doing their screen sharing, and to move the ball forward and show you exactly the articles that we needed to show. And I believe that when it comes time, Glendon, you might be able to share your screen, and that would allow. Well, then I would have to drop when you do that. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Sure.
One thing at a time, I guess. All right, so let me go ahead and start here on the site that is up at the moment, Twitter. You got to see this to believe it. So this is Wonder Studio, an AI tool that automatically animates lights and composes CG characters into a live action scene. No complicated 3D software, no expensive production hardware. All you need is a camera, right? And then this software, and then your objects. So you can see that the person's moving through the scene, and the object's getting dragged onto the scene, and then it gets rendered, and that human being was replaced by, look at that. Is this not just the most groundbreaking evolution in computer animation, making it accessible, affordable, easy, like it across the board. Like if I was in this industry, I'd be worried. I mean, AI. I've argued AI is coming after us. This is the way it's coming after us. It takes people to do prior to this technology. It takes people to do what you see playing out right now in this software. And the beta, you can sign up for the closed beta right there at the website. Wonder Dynamics. And apparently Steven Spielberg is an advisor on this program, on this application. So it's just, it is mind-boggling how, jeez, I mean, wow. It's scary good, and it's scary accessible. So when I talk about AI being this powerful mechanism and really disrupting industries, entertainment is about to get disrupted in a massive way. I mean, creative pursuits where you're able to effectively eke out a living being creative is about to be destroyed, upended, like completely changed. This is a game changer. Like that, I cannot overstate just how much of a game changer this is. Now, Kulaski, and if I said your name wrong, I'm still getting to know you. Noted, AI can already do most of my tasks for work. I can't say that it can do most of my tasks for the jobs that I've done, but I could say that I could have used certain tools like ChatGPT in earlier tasks. Absolutely. So, Glendon, your thoughts initially when you see this?
Wow. How did we not know about or hear this before today?
Because literally, it was this hit my radar as the 10th, 2 days ago, and so I didn't get it in the last cycle for yesterday's TLDR. But yeah, basically this is the first time the world's seen it.
I have never seen something like this ever. I mean, it's going to change the way that movies and film and television is made forever.
Easily. I mean, it's just astounding. I mean, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to get, and you'll buy and sell people will create these 3D, or AI will create a robot, and give it all the points of articulation, and all you'll need to do, seriously, you can do that now. Like, there are AI utilities allowing you to generate objects like that. Create your scene, then create your video. It's incredible. Like, everything about this is just.
I'm taken back. I don't. This is amazing. I have no other word for it other than amazing.
Time saving, money saving, industry upending. Like, this is just. There's a I mean, there's no article. I didn't need to show an article. I just need to show you the screen. You just needed to see it. Now, if you want any of these links, of course, they're on Discord. You can do a search on Discord. They're in Tech News TLDR section that's somewhat separated from the Tech News stream section, which is more of the automated feed that you'll see running through the live broadcast. But yeah, dude.
Imagine fiction now. Imagine what people do with fan fiction, like
right.
Star Wars films.
Right.
Imagine. Oh my god.
This is I've been saying, what happens when AI takes your job? Well, now you'd say, well, I would go back onto creative pursuits. Yeah, but if AI is doing creativity and that's not worth anything, how are you going to make money? So we're back to the same scenario. Remember when C-Noop and I were going? I mean, we weren't arguing, but we were going back and forth on what happens next. What happens after AI eliminates the need for humans to do the work that they would normally get paid for? You can't fall back on a creative pursuit if you still have to pay bills. So if everybody is now not able to pay their bills, and worse yet, well, you can get a job at McDonald's. Yeah, but if no one can afford to eat because no one can get a job, like, we've got problems.
Yes.
If we don't change how society works. And I mean global. Forget, like, thinking about your corner of the universe. Like, this is AI is, I'm telling you, it's exciting, but it's also frightening. And this is
because this is just, I mean, this is a paradigm shift that we're experiencing right now. It's going to change everything going forward. And if humanity does not adapt, then there's going to be big time repercussions.
We're going to be facing that music. I mean, it's there. It's forget there. Here. It's here.
It is.
All right. So if again, I would strongly recommend checking out that link. I guess I'll have to pop it into the same tab. I was testing here. I normally do this differently with TLDR, but we'll just do it this way. Let's go ahead and mute the audio just in case. This is another. I found like half of these last night, like minutes after TLDR wrapped. I'm like, I found a stack of them, including this one. Newly discovered enzyme that turns air into electricity, providing a new clean source of energy. So apparently Australian scientists discovered an enzyme that does this. So air into electricity. So what does that mean? Well, that means the regulation of energy, gone. How are they going to regulate air? How are they going to control air? Like, we're going to have an air tax? How would that work? Exactly. Because we've talked about there are cables that are running here, or there are services that we need, like the internet. Like inevitably, it's got to get connected to something, right? That makes sense. But electricity, how would it get? How would they do that if it was captured in the air, through the air, or invisibly, right?
Yeah.
Well, so cables become a thing of the past. First of all, second of all, energy suddenly becomes less. I mean, granted, these are still, we're nowhere near like what it would
Right.
need to be, right? So you know, if only because the bacteria that produce these enzymes, they're common and can be grown in large quantities, so we can have access to a sustainable source of the enzyme, but we're not there. But at some point, energy changes, and the regulation of that energy changes, and the need to work changes. Like I'm telling you, like I hope we survive long enough to see this future. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime, unfortunately, but this is fantastic to see. Absolutely fantastic to see, because we knew wireless electricity was a thing. That's that. I mean, there's been the discussion of that for the longest time. But my biggest question is, can you think of a way they could? How do they regulate air? How do they regulate the bacteria, Glendon? Is that even a thing? Could that be a thing? I mean, I'd imagine they'd figure it out.
Enzymes before they would regulate the air, but
Yeah, but once the enzymes are out there, how do you stop? How do you stop them from being used without like an enzyme, like an enzyme DRM, like on these devices? That just sounds beyond asinine.
yeah,
Because see, this is again, but it ties into the discussion around AI. If someone, you got to make money somewhere. Like, yeah, but what if? Like, just let's just entertain that notion. What if we didn't have to work to live? What if there was a time and a place and a chance to not have to struggle for basic necessities, or just a modicum of um, let's say going beyond Maslow's hierarchy of needs, of which some would argue Wi-Fi is a part, right? Internet access probably should be a part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, I mean, that's certainly been argued by many, including myself. What if these creature comforts that we've become accustomed to are no longer a privilege, but a right? Uh, what will we breathe? No doubt, we'll breathe bacteria, kind of like Spaceballs, going from suck to blow.
yeah. Wow.
That's cutting edge stuff right there. This may be less interesting to a lot of y'all, but I'm a big proponent of Google TV with Chromecast. It's awesome. It's affordable. If you have a chance to get one, get one. Even the 1080p or regular editions sometimes sells for like $29. It's impulse buy territory. Plug it in, try it, compare it to your Apple TV. I can almost guarantee you'll fall in love with it, because by comparison, Apple TV is in the dark ages for ease of use, for discoverability. I would even go as far as to say is animation. It's not to say that lag doesn't exist, certainly on these devices, but there's a new update that's rearranged the search, and they've already updated, I think, the home screen in a previous recent update. So now we get date and time on your settings bar, as well as like access to the screensaver, Wi-Fi, accessibility, Bluetooth. A big thing, and I think Apple TV. I haven't paid that much attention to it. Do they have profiles, family profiles on Apple TV right now?
I'm not sure. I've not used the Apple TV.
Okay. Oh, so what are you on?
I use Hulu.
Oh, Hulu.
Yeah, their live service.
Okay. Ooh, hang on. I thought I dragged it into the right. I must have dragged it into a new tab there. Sorry about that.
Got it.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Because at on this screen, or you can see between the two. Right now, we've previously the ability to switch your users was on the right side. Now it's on the left side. So I think it's a little more reasonable there, considering it's close to most of those menu items. That was a reasonable change. Um, so you can easily switch between profiles. We don't, because like, well, what's the point? We ultimately have to log into separate profiles on Netflix and YouTube and Prime and all that stuff anyway. So like, it's less interesting because that's just kind of how we do it. But it's nice to have that there, certainly, and I appreciate that a lot of the extraneous services have that as well. But if you've not used the discoverability of of a Google TV, like it's night and day as far as I'm concerned, night and day easily. But certainly with the Apple TV, so it's worth a look. That's coming down the pike. Constant improvements with that. One of Google's better products that even if you don't have a Google device, I strongly recommend. It probably beats the DVR that you might be using now. So this is another one that hit my radar. If data is the new currency, it's no wonder why tech companies keep getting richer. So this is why, and the headline was a attention grabber. Today's startups should terrify you because of all the data. So again, we come back to the idea of people got to make money. They're making money. They're going to make money. So these data-hungry tech companies have compromised our security, ended our privacy, tracked us, sold our data, lost our data, monopolized the competition, driven out small businesses, and put entire populations at risk. But apart from that, what have the Romans ever done for us? You know, it's just so... I enjoy what technology does. I enjoy what technology enables, but between this and the tipping point of AI and the tipping point of these changes with science advancing to the point where we're able to do things that we couldn't have done before because we can harness the world around us and bend it to our will, much like we have to this point, but in a less destructive capacity. What are we going to do? This is what we're going to keep doing. We're going to keep generating revenue on each other and not step back and just recognize that we don't have to do that. If we change the system, we have the power to change the system. The people who don't want us to do that are the people who have the money. All the money. Right. Like the people who are in control. And as far as I'm concerned, the people who are in control have the most amount of money. They're in control. And you might say, well, the government's in control. Well, who do you think pays for the government? And I'm not saying us. But yeah, taxpayers, we pay for the government. Special interest groups drive it. Big budgets, big companies drive it. That's how things change. So there's going to become a bigger discrepancy between the haves and the have-nots, especially if we continue to elevate those values which have given us this as an opportunity. We have to play the game. That's unfortunate. We have to play the game. If we don't play the game, we don't pay our bills. We don't play our bills, forget it. We're done. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah. You're sitting everything out. So I don't know what it's going to take to disrupt that. It ain't going to be, and we'll come back to this, it ain't going to be Bitcoin, right? It ain't going to be alt currencies, despite what any libertarian may try to claim. Like, it's going to take, like, something big's going to, I don't know what it is. Something big's going to happen. Something huge is going to happen. Because you got all these people getting richer and richer and richer, and all these people getting poorer and poorer and poorer, and the drive is driving us apart effectively. These cultural battles are driving us apart, and technology has this opportunity to put us in alignment and to give us opportunities where otherwise opportunities wouldn't exist. But if we can't even get there, because all these companies that are fighting for us and fighting for us, almost fighting against us, and putting us at the center of their profit margin, which they've done consistently. This is not conspiracy theory territory. Tech companies keep getting richer, and I got no problem with being a part of a tech company. No problem whatsoever. I got to play the game. Got to play the game. Do I want to play the game? Hell no. I don't think it's the right game to play, but I got to play the game. At what point does that game broken? At what point do enough people say this game is rigged? At what point does it implode? I think about this stuff constantly. This stuff is just it's far more interesting to me than the different color of a damn iPhone.
Yeah, it's going to have to happen. There's going to have to be an implosion or an explosion of some sort, figuratively, not figuratively, just in order for a change to happen, something catastrophic is going to have to happen because they're not going to allow it to change on their own.
Startups today should scare you because of their near unfettered and unbridled ability to do almost anything with our information and face little to no repercussions. Even where the tech giants have historically flouted their own security and privacy promises, regulators are under-resourced and massively outnumbered and don't have any the enforcement powers to meaningfully hold repeat offenders accountable. It's like, what's the point? They'll just make more money on top of the money they're making. With us ultimately paying the price. I'm not someone who listens to records, LPs, albums. We were talking about this briefly last night. This someone had written about a gadget that they have to. If you love, do you listen to LPs, records?
Yeah, I've got probably about 300 or so records.
Okay, it's 300. So you actively listen?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have this gadget?
No.
It's a sound enhancing gadget apparently that is a dust cleaner. So it's a microdust cleaning gel stylus cleaner. And apparently, if this is a thing for you, you need to use it. You lift it on the gel pad, wait 3 seconds and lift it. I do this 3 times before playing every record, and it keeps my stylus nearly spotless. So long as you remember to do it before and after, boop, 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 it'll make the sound cleaner, and it'll keep the record from being damaged as much, certainly.
Right. I've used something similar to this. It's the same type of concept. It's not this exact product, but I'm always up to take care of my records and stylus any way that I can get more use out of them. So I may look to get one of these and then at least try it out.
This is what it was. This is the claim. I'm not enough of an audiophile to tell you, whether or not that works. Looks like Dandrak has an Onzao. I'm not sure. I've heard of that one.
That's the same thing that I use as an Onzao, which is very similar to this. It's like a gel that's extremely sticky and
I'd imagine it keeps it clean, right? So that nothing goes into the grooves.
Self-healing gel to where like whenever you touch it, it like gets absorbed into the inside of it,
right?
And then heals itself on the top to where it's reusable over and over. I would say it's along the same lines, but I would give it a shot.
I mean, if you're already using a gel, I'm not sure you'd see that much of a difference. I mean, I learned something new. I'm like, I had no idea this kind of thing existed.
Yep. Yeah, I use the Onzell before I play every record.
See, I just don't. That's my thing. Is I'm not. I don't play records. That's what I need to do. Hang on just a second. I've got to check my. Okay, I still have time. I got about 4 minutes left on a print, and I'll need to rotate. Before I do, Facebook, aka Meta, is building a decentralized text-based social network. So Mastodon is decentralized; it's open source. Now it's suggested that Facebook, aka Meta, is talking about doing the same thing. So they believe there's an opportunity for a separate space where creators and public figures can share timely updates about their interests. Here's my question: whether or not an algorithm is applied to a decentralized platform. and whether or not it becomes another eventual walled garden, or whether or not it'll use the Activity Pub Foundation, much like Mastodon, right? And this is as a part of the greater Fediverse. Jack Dorsey has been, leading Blue Sky. Whether or not those will interoperate, I mean, ultimately, I feel everyone could win. Like if we can just get past algorithmic social media, I'm excited because I feel so strongly algorithmic social media destroyed so much more than it helped. Because you have to play to the algorithm. Forget about sharing what you want to share. You have to share to the algorithm, and that's not. It's a different kind of experience. Some people would argue things improved. I would argue that they didn't. But yeah, this was a shock. They're working on effectively not Twitter or a decentralized like Twitter, but I can imagine that might have been the impetus behind them doing something like this. I mean, if only because Twitter's imploding and someone needs to pick up those reins. Twitter works at the moment, but at some point it may not. So Facebook's putting its hat, throwing its hat into the ring, and doing it. And I think you should trust Facebook as far as you can throw them, but it's still the fact that they're approaching this with decentralized being at the center makes it very interesting. Extremely. Decentralization is not to be glossed over, right? This isn't just the same old, same old. It's the fact that it would be able to interoperate with other social products, which is almost completely opposite from the way social media works today. So the pendulum keeps swinging that other direction. This is actually very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. Because now you'll be able to stay in touch theoretically with all your favorite creators instead of wondering where the hell they went, even though they didn't go anywhere. It's that the algorithm smacked them down. The algorithm. Blame the freaking algorithm. That's what happened. That's what happened. Exciting news there. I think it's exciting. But if you want to go in, further on it, I can and I will. I know I've talked about it at length in the past. I haven't talked a lot about Bitcoin because, quite honestly, I'm not into it. But apparently, more than 70 billion was wiped off the crypto market in 24 hours. Bitcoin dropped under 20,000. It's back, there as well. Not as low as it was, I think, in December. I think it dropped to 16,000. But apparently, there's something that's happening, and I haven't been following the news because I'm not really into the finance side of things. But Silicon Valley Bank said it sold off $21 billion worth of its holdings at a $1.8 billion loss, and now people are going nuts. Apparently, but again, I cannot speak intelligently towards what's happening with SVB. All I know is that people are going nuts in social.
Yeah, I don't follow it either. It's not something that I've ever been interested in. I don't put my money in it, so I really can't speak on it.
But if you must be nervous if you're in crypto or doing anything with Bitcoin. Me, not so much. Stun Mode, thank you for subscribing 2 months in a row. Glad you were able to do that. I appreciate your support. And Jay Harley, thank you for being here as well. And the Windows taskbar story is they're testing, I guess, for you to be able to move the taskbar to the top of the screen or beyond just the bottom of the screen. So that's, I believe that's what it was. They've moved the position. You saw it scroll briefly during the scroll. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Okay, Glendon, can you keep people entertained what you've been up to with tech or geekery? I'm gonna swap out my I'm gonna get the next print staged if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. So today I was. Is anybody familiar with the Mr. Project for retro gaming? It's an FPGA. It's a field programmable gate array, and it's basically hardware that mimics other original hardware instead of using software. Well, I finally got around to updating mine today. It took some time, um, but now there are a ton more cores on there that I previously didn't have. So I have been tinkering with that all day long. If it's somebody yeah, J. Harley, it's very cool. It's emulated hardware instead of software. So you get a true one-to-one exact match of how the game was supposed to be ran, um, as opposed to having discrepancies or speed issues or sound issues or certain hiccups whenever you use software. So it's a very fun project. They're a little on the pricey side right now because they're hard to get a hold of. Um, but if anybody likes retro gaming, I do recommend trying one out if you can get your hands on it. It's very DIY. Okay, it's not like um, an emulator that you run on a computer. Um, yeah, the onboard processor is programmed to be exactly as the processor with the console it's emulating. Yep, correct. Uh, that's a very high level way to describe it, and I love it. I absolutely. I mean, even to the slowdown that you would have experienced on the original cards, playing on the original hardware is mimicked because it's basically running on hardware, its original hardware, as far as the ROM goes. So, if you've not had an opportunity to tinker with one, and if you ever get the opportunity to do so, I recommend jumping on it because it is an awesome experience. And it's always updated. It's open source through the community. You can go on to GitHub and get any information that you need for it. Mr. Go said there's a streamer that I follow that swears by it. There's a guy that can build it for anyone. It's just a little pricey. My understanding is the DIY is a little advanced. It's not terrible. It's all plug and play really. You have an I/O board. You've got some other stuff that you can add to it. It even can do JAMA boards for arcades now. It can be a little advanced, I suppose, depending on what you want to do with it. But for me, I'm not going to use it for an actual arcade machine. I'm just using it for personal ROMs on every system that's basically out there. Of course, the ROMs that I own. But that's what I've been tinkering with today.
Thank you, Glendon.
Yep.
Appreciate it. I am. I'm printing my Bo-Katan. That's why I'm pausing. I'm doing my best to try to optimize for time, and so right now I moved on to the arms, and that's gonna take like probably about 5 hours. So theoretically, oh man, I'll be in bed. I want to try to print. I want to try to print something like overnight so that when I wake up, it's done. You know what I'm saying? Just optimizing time. And speaking of almost done, literally as I sat down, I'm printing, or have officially printed now, Wexter's Grogu. We were talking about this earlier, I believe, with holding onto the Anzellan, the Babu Frick. So
yeah.
let me get. I don't know. It's not. I know the light is not exactly prime right now, but it turned out really well.
And is that jade and chrome?
Yep, jade chrome. Jade
That's
chrome.
awesome.
So I'll get the supports removed here in a second.
I need to get some more filament. That's going to be on my list because I love green.
Yeah, I mean it's a subtle chrome. It's not. It's very 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 subtle. But with a Grogu and minimal supports really, just down in the front. And that might have even been overkill. He did a really good job with this. So I'll be taking a picture of that tonight and getting it posted over on across social, including primarily I feel like my main platform to share on is Mastodon. So I push everybody to Mastodon. If I'm there, and I get more engagement, more consistent. I'll say more consistent engagement on Mastodon than I get on Twitter by far, especially when I share interesting links. There is a rumor now that Apple's going to have a new HomePod with a built-in 7-inch display, set to be announced in early 2024, which is interesting. Certainly, if you live in Apple's ecosystem, I guess there would be users for this. People do have HomePods. Having a screen could be a boon. Again, though, if you live inside of Apple's ecosystem.
Right.
And I'm not sure if everybody lives inside of Apple's ecosystem. Well, you might. You might be an Apple-only household. That, I feel, with Apple Music would be, worth it. But we have, I don't know how it is in your house, but, like, we have a Google Home that, can play music. And it plays music fine. It's just no one ever does it. They're using their phones or their tablets or whatever. They're not using the actual speaker, even if the speaker might be better than what might be on their phone. So it's like having something like this. I don't know. Maybe there are users for it. I know that our family, I feel, has struggled to find the utility in such a utility. So adding a touchscreen, I mean, it does make sense for that kind of interoperability, but whether or not that ends up being more expensive and priced out of the realm of, well, it's useful, or it's nice to have, good to have. I don't know if that's really what's kept people from buying HomePods. My feeling is if Siri was fantastically better, a HomePod would be, a no-brainer. But at this point, I question Siri's brain.
Yeah, between Siri and Apple coming to the party late with the whole HomePod behind Alexa and Google Assistant, they're just trying to figure out any kind of way, it looks like, to try to catch up and be viable. But like you said, I've got a HomePod. Do we ever use it for music? No. If I want to listen to music, I'm on my hi-fi system, streaming through a dedicated streaming device for high-res music or listening to my LPs. So it's not something that I would be interested in the least.
Jay Hartley has Google Home, YouTube Premium, gives me YouTube Music on any Google device. Yeah, we do too. That's what we have. Oh, you haven't done Mastodon yet. Tired of social media on the new ones that pop up. Well, I go where a majority of the people that I feel would be aligned with my interests go. Personally, that's why I ended up on Mastodon. A lot of geeks, a lot of nerds, tech enthusiasts, pop culture folk. I need to. I feel I've kind of gotten away from doing certain things on Mastodon like I did in the beginning because I ran out of bandwidth, like time. Like I want to be able to post more photos there, because Mastodon loves when you put. I mean, Mastodon. People seem to be really engaged with various photos that get posted there easily. And by the way, it is good to see you, Wicked Woodrow. Happy to have you here. Once again, you're tuned into a live.pirillo.com broadcast of the Locker Gnome Daily Report, TLDR for short. Mr. Goat has an Echo Dot and a Google Home. Honestly, ever used them for music? Yeah, see, I think our primary use case, and I've talked about this before, is specifically to announce when it's time to go to school or get picked up from the bus stop. Like, we use it for announcements, automate alarm. It really helps with that, like in a big way. And then sometimes I'll be able to broadcast out to the device if I know that someone's around them, like, and they're not around their phone, like, hey Diana, I'll say, okay, blah, blah, blah. Broadcast, hey, could you go and check the whatever, and then what'll happen is it'll send that audio clip to the Google Home and then play it. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
Cooking timers, yep. White noise, that works too. Though we don't have one in the bedroom. Like, it's not it's in the hallway, in and around the area where they're usually getting ready in the morning. But anyway, the screen's coming. I guess that's fine. I don't I don't think that if AI worked as well as it did, they'd have to sell it with a screen. But maybe they've got another use case for the screen. I don't know. Stun mode likes YouTube Music, more intuitive than Apple Music. Use both though. Yeah, YouTube Music I'm okay with. Apple Music I never gotten into any music app honestly. So the changes that they make are less impactful. What I usually do is say, okay, listen to Lily Allen, right? And I always say that because I've just been listening to her recently, or The Bird and the Bee, or limbic system, and then it just plays it, right? And I just don't think about it. I don't interact with it. I don't watch the screen. I don't listen to music and watch the screen. So it's interesting, like I said, to see it, baked into, or see a screen baked into the product, because I guess I'm the user who doesn't want to interact with it at all. I want the speaker to be a speaker. I don't want to. I don't need a screen on my speaker. But that's me. That's me. We were just talking about the Apple Music classical app the other day, Wicked Woodrow. I figured there'd be some passionate classical listeners who would love it, especially for the high quality sound, I'd assume. I didn't even know YouTube Music handled the upload to the music library. I guess I haven't managed it that way. Years ago, I did it somewhere else. I think on Amazon, and then they changed things. I don't manage music that way. Never really did, even in the heyday. I steered to music services going all the way back to Urge, that I think was an MTV production. Rhapsody, I want to say, I used as well. So this is open source. A developer has created an emulator that can play old iPhone games on a computer, like Super Monkey Ball, one of the first iPhone games I ever played and bought. I played Super Monkey Ball. Paid $5 for it, I think. So sorry, the way I've got my this system with 9 to 5 Mac, the top bar wigs out in dark mode sometimes. So if you see that, what's that flashing? That's what. So it works allegedly. It works very well so long as you've got the apps, the games to play. It should work, and it's open source. You have to download it. So I believe that's how I get there. Yeah, Touch HLE available on GitHub. And let me go here because it clicked it to open in a new tab there. So I don't know. Yep. So there's the source code and the binaries right there. Windows and Mac OS. Now here's my question: where are all the ROMs? Where are the games? Where are all those classic iPhone games? Because I didn't keep them. I don't have them lying around. And he did this without reverse engineering. He did this without reverse engineering, without using the code, without anything like that. That's he said. If I get the exact quote, I've been careful, extremely careful about, or during this project, perhaps more careful than most people would be, not to violate Apple's copyrights so far as I can. I don't use any code written by Apple. I've been careful to avoid reverse engineering iPhone OS itself. And in order to use the project, in order to use the code I've written, you don't have to violate Apple's copyrights. You can download the project and it doesn't contain anything like that, like isn't illegal to distribute. So what's Apple going to do? Say, no, you can't play these games that are no longer available in the App Store? Like, like what I'm saying is, what happened to them? What happened to all those games? Where do I get them? I don't have them anymore. I guarantee I didn't back them up because I'm like, everything moved to the cloud. I stopped tracking the files eons ago. Not that I bought a lot of games for it back in the day, but still it'd be nice to be able to relive those, and now you can, so long as you have those somewhere. And I do not personally, not anymore. I don't know anybody who saves their old games.
No, I never even thought about it. Really, I mean, it's cool that this can happen now. But like you, where do you get them?
You can't, at least through official means. My concern is attaining them through. Where do I get them to try them, to play them?
Yeah,
that's my big question. All right, we've got some deals to dive into. So go ahead and walk us through. And I think I may be able to pull up the links or search for them here on my end without worrying about
Oh,
crossing the streams with
yeah, no,
affiliate
I'll
links.
start it, work my way down then. The first one is the Asus ROG Falchion Ace 65, and it is a keyboard. And I myself like small form factor keyboards for gaming because it takes up less space on my desk. Chris has got it pulled up there. Right now, it is 33% off. Normally, it's $120. You can get it for $79.99. So that is a really good deal, to be honest with you, for this keyboard. It's a little bit bigger than, say, there's a Razer Mini keyboard. Um, it's a 60%. That's what I use, as opposed to the 65. This one's got the delete, page up, down, and the arrows over there on the right, as opposed to having to use function keys. But and it's also got a KBM built into it.
Oh.
So yeah, with the KBM, and if you're looking for a small compact keyboard, this is a great price. $79.99, 33% off.
That build. Oh, I see. Flexible cable management to quick toggle between two PCs.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's got 2 ports on it.
So
where it's got, one is for just use USB, and then the other one is KBM.
Wow, that's pretty small. I like that. Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna be waiting for that flex keyboard though. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the other one. I just want to try it. I was like, oh dude, this is too cool. We'll see if I like it. Oh, by the way, yeah, I have a Bo-Katan in my an extra Bo-Katan. It's on sale. Here, I'll remove it from my cart so you don't have to be paying attention to what's in our cart. That's a pretty good find. 33% off is really decent, especially for this.
All right. And so the next one that I've got here is the 12 South MacBook High Rise. And I'm interested in this one myself because I do have an L-shaped extension coming from my desk, and I may use this on the other side whenever I get it for my MacBook. This is exactly like it says, it's a riser, an adjustable stand for your MacBooks, or any other laptop, really, if you wanted to use it. Normally, you're looking at $80. It's 26% off, right? So it's $59.39. If you're looking for a way to get that screen up off of the desk and closer to the same level as the one that you've got, or if ergonomics is the issue for you, then this would be perfect for you. And it's a really good price. You know, you're under $60 with this, $59.39. So if you're someone that's in the lookout for a solution with your MacBook or your laptop.
And I think this is there's a High Rise Pro as well. So this is the High Rise. So it's there, and because I think the other one's like a new version. This is the older version, but I mean, still, it's 12 South, which, if you're not familiar, is a brand that's been around, at least in the Apple community, for quite some time.
Yeah.
So this is not some chintzy fly-by-night rinky-dink operation. This should be some quality stuff.
Yeah, from what I understand, the whole thing is constructed of aluminum, so you shouldn't have any issues with it tipping over.
GRB Jerry says, "Hey, that's perfect for me. I use mine as a closed clamshell with an external display."
Yep, I think I'm going to get one else because my desk extension is supposed to be here this week, so maybe something that I look into pretty quickly.
And again, you can find all these links with our affiliate program over on Discord, or if I'm about to buy something on Amazon, come into chat, type in !Amazon. It'll give you our affiliate link. That's really nice to use because we get a couple bucks. Yesterday we ended up, when I shared on my social the Atari Lego set being on sale and the Funko Pop that we talked about yesterday. We ended up getting a couple of conversions on both of those. So I was like, whoa, all y'all love the geeky stuff for sure. more than the tech. It seems it's just kind of, or at least what we're able to share.
Yep. All right. So the next one that I've got on the list here is the Gobi Smart Wi-Fi LED strip lights. I can attest to these also. Well, the brand of Gobi, anyway. I don't have these particular lights, but that's what I use for my lighting on my desk and around the desk and on the wall for my setup is Gobi. Um, these are $29.99, but there is a coupon right now where you can take it to $20.99. It's going to knock $9 off, which is a steal because this is 32 foot of RGB lighting. So if you were someone that wanted to run it along the bottom side of the table all the way around, or up at the top of the ceiling, baseboards, whatever you choose behind your shelves, um, then this would be a really good option for you. Get a lot of lighting for a little bit of money. And I really like the app that Gobi uses. It's very seamless, and you can actually get a Gobi desktop app as well, um, where you can control your lights from your desktop as long as you have them on your same network.
See, I wish I had a better opportunity to use something like this. I'm not sure because is this the thing that you can like you can cut the strips to at length or not? Okay.
Yes. These are the ones that you can cut.
Yeah, I unfortunately I would need to run. These are these battery operated?
This one probably has a power supply. You have probably a USB connection. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm
it's
looking.
Electric.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is corded.
Yeah, that I don't know how well that. I mean, if you're a professional like interior designer and you have things set up, man, you can knock it out of the park. We are nowhere near that here. If I could make it look like this, I would, but I can't. Good price, good discount.
Yeah, very much. So $9 coupon, apply that, and you get these for just a little over $20. All right.
I wonder. I'm sorry. I'm brainstorming to think where can I put them.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a good deal.
It is a very good deal. All right, and the next one that I have is probably only going to be for the rest of today. I don't know for sure, but it was only for today, from what I understand, Chris. Is that correct for the Mario deals for March 10th?
I would assume since it is March 10th.
Yep. So this next one is a really good bundle and a really good price. $2.99. You get 2 exclusive red Joy-Cons, and you get to choose from 3 games, either Mario Party 8, Mario Party, Super Mario Odyssey, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Those are the 3 games that you can choose from to purchase this kit for the Nintendo Switch. It's $2.99. That's a really good price if anybody is out there looking for a Switch. Now, this isn't the OLED version. You're not going to get the OLED version for the same price. This is the original version. But for $2.99 with a game, that's a really good deal. And 2 exclusive Joy-Cons.
And it looks like
exclusive.
Yeah, Mario Party Superstars is also on sale, down to $39.
Yeah. Yeah, most of all Mario or first party Nintendo titles are on sale right now today as well. So you can get 3D Mario or Super Mario 3D World. You can get Yoshi's Crafted World. Both of those are on sale for $39. So most of all first party Nintendo titles right now are on sale for $39.
Good deal.
So
Especially
March
today.
10th today.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage of it. If you do need a Switch, it's a really good deal because you normally don't get a game with it. So they drop the price with it and you receive a title.
Nice.
That's the last one.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. I think Did you get the Fire series? The Fire TV?
Oh, did I not get it up here? I must have. That's my fault. I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
Got it.
That one I thought was a pretty good deal.
Yes, it is.
Here,
I can't believe
that's okay. I got it pulled up. So if you want a 4K TV, forget the connectivity. Forget Fire TV. 43% off. That's like Black Friday kind of deal there. I'm not an Amazon Fire TV user at all, unfortunately, but still for a 4K TV, $200, like seriously, like this is just bargain basement. And I would assume it's the electronics themselves are just fine. Like a really good deal.
Yep. Looks like it ends in an hour and a half.
Yeah, so take advantage of it if you need a 4K TV right now. $369 down to $209. There's the link in chat. But of course, like I said, if you're like ever going to Amazon, just before you do, come through our link. Just remember to go through our link, and you're good to go. Hey, Bunny TV, good to see you here. Glad to have you. Bunny, I know, has been hanging out on the Locker Dome Discord server as well as on the Maker Deck Discord server. Glad you are here, Bunny. Jay Harley notes, if you have a Switch or get one, the sale for a few games ends in 13 days. That's FYI. 13 days.
Even better.
So, get on it, folks. That's about it. I think as far as I saw in terms of the TVs are gone. What do you mean TVs are gone? No, they're right there. It says you can add it. It doesn't say it's out of stock. That's super cheap, dude. Especially for 4K TV for $200. It's incredible. That's about it. I'm pretty sure we've covered everything that we intended on covering here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Glendon, for helping and being here as well. We are still pretty much packed on the live.pirillo.com experience, which is fine. It's great. It's perfect. I love it. I'd much rather be overflowing than underflowing. So thank you, everybody, for leaning in and participating. Thank you for keeping the video open. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into Twitch. When I say video open, I mean specifically the Twitch video that's set to run 24/7 as a part of the live.pirillo.com experience. Having it open helps. Engaging in chat certainly helps. Jumping in and participating absolutely helps. It's all, I don't know. We got a couple comments earlier today. One person came in and they said, who was it? Glendon, I even sent you the screen grab because I thought this is so nice to see. Ozarok said, thanks for having this. Yep. It's so cool to come here and hang out, which I was just like, wow. And then earlier this evening, and I don't think Professor Nectaris is here right now, but he says, not going to lie, the stream makes me feel like I'm sitting in your house. So that was kind of the idea behind doing something like this. And so I really appreciate y'all doing what you do, because you're making a part of this. You're making this work. I can sit here and I can facilitate and I can move people in and out and shuffle things around and make sure things happen. But ultimately, I feel that this is valuable because it's a focal point, like in a bar. All I am is I'm a pub host. I'm a bartender, a glorified bartender without any alcohol. Unfortunately, I had wine I was gonna grab. I'm like, nah, maybe tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it tonight. So that's cheating. You have everyone in your house without having to make dip. Yes, indeed, Mystery Goats. That's the idea. That I don't have to worry about like feeding all these mouths. That's up to you. You always have it open. Sometimes it needs reloaded when I come home. I'm not sure if it's counting after that. I think it is. As long as you're playing, it's fine. Thank you, Jay Harley. I appreciate you doing that. I really do. Grant M does love it here. You need to say it more. Thank you. As much as you do. Then Grant is also a huge fan of Mastodon as well. So very happy that that's the case. Looks like we got Printed Visions coming up. So he may have something going on this printer, possibly, or is he gaming? We'll see here. Oh, he's playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Very nice. So we'll swap out GC Laredo since he's doing an overnight print, which is nice to have kind of in the background. But if you ever want to play video games, share something on your screen, do something geeky or nerdy, you're more than welcome to come in here and do that. Now, we are at a point where, Mystery Goat, did you want to do some Picard talk? Spoilers for this last episode? Because if so, I may have to call you on Discord to pull you in since we are like overflowing. Thank you, Glendon.
All right.
I'll go ahead and wrap TLDR. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And may the force be with you always. We're typically talking tech 24/7. Or sorry, I need to say it the right way. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're about to dive into Picard Season 3, Episode 4 spoilers. So you don't want to miss those. Or you did if you're watching this video after the fact. At live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.